Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no controlling me. My thoughts get so bad, I'm like, I might grab a bat, I don't know. My wrath, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll bleed on your face just to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you go wish you would shut the fuck up real bad. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. I'll take smoke, I'ma poke a hole through you, choking's overdue. Come at me and you won't get any older, dude. Crack your holder too. Heating up inside of me, blood so violently. Thanks for trying me. Now it's finally time to see how this rivalry becomes my dynasty. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll bleed on your face just to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you go wish you would shut the fuck up real bad. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome in. We're gonna talk about Albert Fish tonight. There's we're gonna wait for some people to show up. If they do, if they don't, we'll go ahead and go. But put a 1 in the chat if you looked up Albert Fish before the show. Hey, Chaotic, I know you looked it up. Mystery Lady, I know you looked it up. Oh my gosh. This guy is true meaning of a monster. Who's Cooley? You mean Coolio? Hey, Sarah. I saw Sarah's comment and thought she said I'm fishing, but I'm listening. Every time I say, hey, Sarah, my phone thinks I'm saying, hey, Siri, and it tries to. Coolio died. Wow. What happened? Anybody know? Don't make me look it up. That's sad, man. That is sad. Yeah, Chaotic suggested Albert Fish. This dude, oh my goodness. Hey, Hummingbird. Gangsta's Paradise. That's right. Man, that's old school stuff. Put a one in the chat if you've heard Amish Paradise by Weird Al. Possibly cardiac arrest, 59 years old. My dad was 59 when he died of a heart attack. Of course, he was drunk. Just the psychology of him. There you go, guys. There we go. Amish Paradise. Even Ezekiel thinks that my mind is gone. Oh. I love Weird Al. I love Weird Al. It's like the Rocky theme, Rocky 13. Fat and weak, what a disgrace. Guess the champ got too lazy. I love it. Yeah, of course I do. That's right. That's right, Sarah Smiles knows Weird Al was the snizzy busy, baby. Come on now. Members, there are bunch of videos moved from private to members only today. You know, it wasn't to start drama. It was just to, you know, I mean, they're in the archives for a reason, you know. It's what the channel, everybody says it, you know, what the channel is built about. Well, let's go ahead and what do you say? What do you say? Well, you know, that, and one of them was, at least one of them was moved to the original membership level. So, football picks, if you don't have them in, get them in, please. Don't be waiting until there's a game already in the progress. Too early to be yawning, right? Chaotic and everyone, just got to put my son in bed and I'll be back. Still listen. Okay. All right. Yeah. Trigger warning. Let me go ahead and put a banner up for the trigger warning. We'll leave that up for a little while, right over top of my Cash App, PayPal, and Venmo. I don't care. My thoughts on the Albert Fish case? Oh, I'm going to tell you. Hello, Justice Janny. Welcome in. And when you guys see somebody new in the chat, especially if they, you know, you never seen them before, you know, say hello, welcome them in. Let's if they're new and they have you know, they're willing to jump right in and chat with us, let's say howdy. Never too early to yawn. Just take a big deep breath instead. Prayers for our friends in Florida. I think Alicia said that the worst part for her was supposed to start around 10 o'clock. Thank you, Mystery Lady. I agree. um, her husband posted on Facebook earlier and said that, you know, the phone lines and all that stuff is out, power's out. Text was still working pretty good, so if they needed a hold of them to text them. Alicia called me earlier, and she was upset and distraught, and I don't think she'd mind me telling this because, you know, at this point there was a good outcome for it. She had been talking to her sister, and her sister's there further into Florida, closer to the hurricane, and her roof had started coming off. So, and her sister and niece and nephew, or nieces and nephews, I don't know how. I think there was just a niece and a nephew, but either way, they were in the closet in the master bedroom, hunkering down, and she was on the phone with her. They were terrified and screaming, and her sister said, "Oh my God!" And then, you know, she couldn't hear no more, so she was terrified, and she couldn't get a hold of her, and she, you know, she called me and another person. I think she called Chaotic, and before calling her mom. And anyway, I'm gonna tell you when I go live what happened. You don't have the bell ringing. I'm about to put a big group message together and we'll message everybody I go live. I think somebody's hacked into it. Anyway, Alicia did call me back, or messaged me back, and said that her sister did call back, and she's okay. At that point, she was okay. So, and Alicia still hadn't seen the hard stuff herself yet, but they were just getting high winds. But so there was a good positive outcome at that point, and you know, thank God for that. I reached out to White Boy, but haven't heard anything. Might not have service. I'm sure the cell phone services and the towers, the cable companies, electric companies, it's gonna be hard to get a hold of people, but I do think that we will hear from them, and I got faith that it's going to be, you know, all good outcomes, and you know, besides property damage, and so we'll pray for that, and we'll help them how we can, starting tomorrow. I think so too, Mystery Lady. God will keep a special eye on Alicia. I believe so too. Ricky barely has service. I saw earlier in the chat where you were on the outside of Florida waiting to go in. Are you in Florida now? No fear. One second. Hey, NY2LA, New York, everything. I'm in the middle of the interstate. They won't let anyone in. Oh, wow. One second. All right. Sorry. That was medical issue that I'm working on. um, so Wednesday nights are notorious serial killers. Now, I didn't know if y'all knew this or not, but probably from about age 3 until now, still, I am a serial killer. So, I said it. I am. Since age 3, I usually kill Fruity Pebbles. That's my favorite cereal. Sometimes I kill Cheerios, but I love Raisin Bran too. So I'm the most notorious serial killer that I've ever known. Nothing? Well, y'all a tough room. This is a tough room right here. Oh. Ricky, is there anything we can do for you, buddy? You need anything? Hey, who's your mama? That's right. Any Pat's Fruity Pebble guy. All right. Slow mode is on. Yeah, it is. I could probably turn it off. We got I don't expect the chats to be quite as filled right now because well, there just won't be much DRAMA these days. So let me go ahead and turn slow mode off for you. There you go. I should have thought that through too. All right. I guess I am too. I just killed a big steak from Outback and finished it off with a bowl of chocolate frosted flakes. Oh my God, chocolate frosted flakes sound so good. Hey Judo, how you doing, buddy? You didn't miss nothing yet, Judo. We just kind of getting started right now. Are we 19 minutes into this thing already? Goodness gracious. Let's go ahead and let me talk about Albert Fish a little bit. All right. Hamilton Howard, Albert Fish, was an American serial killer, rapist, chomo, cannibal, who committed at least 3 child murders from July 24th to June the 28th, 1928. He was also known as the Gray Man, the Werewolf of Wisteria, Brooklyn Vampire, and the Boogeyman. So, the Boogeyman. Put a 1 in the chat if you've, mom, parents, aunts or uncles, any adult ever tried to scare you with the Boogeyman. This guy wouldn't be the one that I would call, that I would think the Boogeyman. Hey, Tingle Bar. Hey, Arkansas. Lane. Lane, you've been in here. Missy T. Good to see everybody. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for, the Boogeyman. The Booger Man? No, the Booger Man's a different thing. Booger is a different thing. Oh, goodness. But Albert Fish was suspected in at least 5 murders during his lifetime. He confessed to 3 that police were able to trace down, trace as a known homicide, and he confessed to stabbing at least 2 other people. Fish once boasted that he has had children in every state, and at one time stated his number of victims was about 100. However, it is not known whether he was referring to rapes, cannibalization, or it's known, or it's not known if the statement is even true. You know how these people who are, killers and charismatic, they like to lie, just gain people's trust and tell stories, get people's attention. So even, you can see this guy been a storyteller just to grab attention, because he obviously did some other things to grab attention too. Fish was apprehended on December 13th, 1934. Somebody look that up and tell me if that was a Friday. Was that Friday the 13th? Somebody look that up for me. And put on trial for the kidnapping and murder of Grace Budd. He was convicted and executed by electric chair January 16, 1936, at the age of 65. This man was known, like he had a, now I'm not going to read directly from the thing for a minute, but he was known, people would look at him as a grandpa figure. If you see pictures of the guy, you don't see like, he's a serial killer. That guy there, he kidnaps kids, chops them up and puts them in the fridge, has dinner, like you don't think that by looking at him. But you never do. There's a documentary on Tubi. Is that how you pronounce that? Tubi. I watched on him. He ain't right in the head. Or he wasn't right in the head. He no longer with us. He would be long gone even if he didn't get the electric chair. He'd already be gone. Chaotic, can you put there it is. There's the link. He was executed on my birthday, January 16th. Oh, that's cool. We have several meaningful dates in our family in January. Hunter was born on January the 7th, and Thelma and I were married on January the 9th. Oh, you can multitask. It's all right. I know he does look like a grandpa. That's what I'm saying. You look at him and you're like, Hey, there's old grandpa dude. Like, yeah. And that's part of his lure, I think, with the kids, is like he would lure them in with that grandpa-ish type um, you know, attitude or aura around him or whatever. My dad was January 15th, sister January 25th. That's cool, Arkansas. Arkansas, I got to ask you a question, and I want to know the truth. Are you a Modzilla? Just kidding. Don't even answer it. Just kidding. Don't even answer it. I'm just having fun. And to the lady who sent me the email, I haven't had a chance to respond to your email. Thank you for being here in our chat many times. And I don't know if I see you in the chat now. And I'm not going to single you out. I'm just going. There's one part of the email I wanted. I'm going to respond in full to your email. I just read it right before I came on, or I would have responded. But it's in-depth email, and I'm going to give you an in-depth response. I do fully appreciate you being here and supporting this channel. What I said yesterday, and I said it before, is like I'll back my mods. Now, of course, if my mods are being, if my mods block somebody or time somebody out because they don't like them, then I'll ask them about it. And I'll talk to them about it, and I'll unblock them. And I'll take the wrench. But and I think I've had mods. No, nay. I know I've had mods who did that before, and they no longer are wrenches here. Hey, E squared. Still feeling crummy. Also feeling bad because I had promised to take my son for a haircut today and wasn't able to. He understood, but I hate not to keep my word, especially for my kids. E, you should have hollered at me. I would have took him to get a haircut. Or I would have given him one of my haircuts, Yes, hit that like button. But so our mods don't have full free reign to just block and smash. I know I had a mod that blocked everybody at one time, and that mod is way gone. Thank goodness. Honestly, Arkansas don't block anybody. I believe it. There's Peter Driver. Oh, E squared, you're never gonna live it down. It's gonna follow you forever. Oh, I know. It's the same way with me. I don't think of anything else when I'm trying to get something done. I think, oh man, if I can't do it, man, I've let somebody down, and then I think, oh well, I could have got help. I know PD is here. All right, back to Albert, Grandpa, Wolfman, Boogeyman, Vampire Killer. Like, my goodness, this guy was just terrible. The murder of Grace Budd. And this is the one where he was, put on trial and convicted of, and ultimately lost his life because of. And he should have. On May 25th, 1928, Fish saw a classified ad in the Sunday edition of the New York World that read, "Young man, 18, wishes position in country. Edward Budd, 406 West 15th Street." On May 28th, Fish, then 58 years old, visited the Budd family in Manhattan under the pretense of hiring Edward. He later confessed that he planned to tie Edward up, mutilate him, and leave him to bleed to death. Fish introduced himself as Frank Howard, a farmer from Farmingdale, New York. He promised to hire Bud, his friend Willie, and said he would, and his friend Willie, and said he would send them in for a few days. Fish failed to show up, but he sent a telegram to the Bud family apologizing and set a later date. When Fish returned, he met Edward's younger sister, 10-year-old Grace Bud. He apparently shifted his amorous intentions towards Grace and quickly made up a story about having to attend his niece's birthday party. He convinced the parents, Delia Flanagan and Albert Budd, to let Grace accompany him to the party that evening. And see that I'm not so sure that would be that easy in today's world because of what we know and what people know now, but Fish subsequently took Grace to an abandoned house he had previously picked out to use for the murder of his next victim, Wisteria Cottage at 359 Mountain Road, located in East Irvington neighborhood of Irvington, New York. There, he murdered and ate the girl. The police arrested 66-year-old Superintendent Charles Edward Pope on September 5th, 1930, as a suspect in Grace's disappearance, accused by Pope's estranged wife. He spent 108 days in jail between his arrest and trial on December 22nd, 1930. He was found not guilty. All right. So he took a classified ad, read one, went to this home as an adult to murder. His plan was to murder an adult and eat that person, but he saw the little girl, decided he was going to switch his appetite up, I guess. But we haven't even really got into the sick part. And that right there is on, I know, if you're a journalist or researcher, or if you're going to school, do not use this site. But it's Wikipedia. What's going on, Rosemarie? Did I miss something? I'm back in chat now. Not back in black. I'm back in chat. Rosemarie J just came in live in Florida live in Florida. Sorry. Live in Florida and prayer never ends. Please send prayers for us. We're praying, Rosemarie, for you and all the all our friends in Florida and all our family in Florida and all everybody affected. God bless you and your family. Be safe. No fear, Jimbo just gave up who Willie is. Who was it? I missed it. Don't you go up there and delete it now. Where's it at? Y'all know how bad I am at finding stuff. Arkansas, I don't know who Willie is. Hold on now. I missed it, I guess. Mr. Fish was a monster. Keep on with Donna. Thank you, Sky Watching. I think I am losing a little bit of weight. Thank you very much for that. Oh, I said Willie no article. Y'all have me really looking too. All right, I'm going to share this. Probably going to get a content strike. Let me put my fair use disclaimer out there first. All right. In good faith, This work contains fair use of copyrighted and non-copyrighted images from the public domain and the web for non-commercial and non-profit educational purposes. This work is distributed free of charge. The author has neither monetized his work nor sought any profit from its distribution. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. This work contains original work of the commentary and critical analysis. Aha. So there's your fair use before we get into this next video that I'm going to share with you. That's boring, ain't it? We love you too, Rosemarie J. Just about to pour yourself a glass of wine? Well, you enjoy that glass of wine. What kind are you having? Red wine? It's a red glass and that little emoji there. You know, I'm kind of hungry too, Arkansas. 10:41 though. Probably, I don't know. We might have to send the kids to Wendy's. I wonder if one of them will go. Watch this. I bet James will go. Call my son James. Hey, son. Did you bring my card back? Since you kept it so long, I'm gonna have to punish you. I'm in here, yeah. Would you want to take that card and car keys and go to Wendy's for us? Are you hungry? All right, we'll find out if anybody else wants anything. And your brothers and sisters. Mommy went to bed early. She's feeling real bad tonight. So, but yeah, just I think I just want a small bowl of chili. Tell them make it as soupy as they can get it. All right, but I love you, buddy. Bye bye. All right, James going to Wendy's. Thank you, Arkansas. You're going to go? The East Coast is a complete disaster. Oh, no. Sarah Smiles, I want a private Wendy's food delivery person. Well, you got to make babies and then raise them up to be 19. And then when they're still living under your roof, you say, hey, son, go get me some Wendy's. I know everybody's hungry now. You ain't going to want to eat, though, after you hear about old Albert Fish here in just a second. All right, we done played the Fair Use Act. So we're going to play this video under the Fair Use. And I will stop it. And I know that's so aggravating, but I'm going to stop it, every few 10, 12 seconds or so. And that way we can not get in trouble. This is this is somebody else's video, though. It's another YouTuber's video that did the work on it. And I will put out his information. If you guys are into that, that kind of thing, chaotic, you guys can subscribe to this guy. Looks like he's got 44,000 subscribers as it is. Looks like the Cryptid Hunter is the name of his channel. All right. Let me come over here and make sure that you guys can see that as best as possible. All right, I'm going to miss some of the chat for a minute. As long as I commentate, it's okay. Okay, cool.
Before I begin tonight's episode, I would have to warn you that some of what you are about to hear will be graphic.
Can you guys hear that?
Those
Put a
of
one in
you
the
who are
chat
a
if you
bit
can hear
more
it.
sensitive can possibly explore other audio videos from my library. If you're still here, let's begin.
Yeah, this is very
Albert
disturbing.
Fish was a notorious child molester, serial killer, and cannibal who confessed to several child murders soon after he was arrested. Each one of his confessions was more depraved than the last.
This is bad.
His reputation eventually earned him several nicknames such as the Gray Man, the Werewolf of Wisteria, the Brooklyn Vampire, the Moon Maniac, and the Boogeyman.
Boogeyman. That's
Although
the
the
one.
Gray Man stuck with him due to his children's description of his skin color. Although tonight
Gray
we
Man.
will not go fully into his
Skin
lifestyle of stalking and finding children, it is important to note that Fish was described to have a sort of grandfatherish type of appeal to him.
I mean, he does. He does have
also
a.
had over 30 years of experience and practice on how to manipulate children, and so he knew exactly how
Getting ready to get
work
some
them.
ads.
Do you want to grow your YouTube channel? You should consider getting TubeBuddy.
I've been using
Get TubeBuddy
TubeBuddy for the last 2 years.
Get
to his
TubeBuddy
own
and
benefit.
learn how to. Now, this guy, I mean, to me, he looks intimidating, but he's also, he doesn't look, like I can see how a child would be intimidated by this guy, but I don't know. He'd have to get the drop on a normal sized man, I would think.
Fish had a twisted style of self-mutilation and punishment ritual. He would often use a cat o' nine tails to whip himself bloody, and during
All right. Who knows what a cat of nine tails is? This dude takes a cat of nine tails and whips himself bloody. This ain't nothing compared to, this ain't nothing. The cat of nine tails ain't nothing. Keep listening.
one x-ray, it was discovered that he had self-inserted more than 2,000 needles inside his perineum. As a side note, for those of you who do not know what the perineum is,
All right. Who knows what the perineum is? Hang on just a second. My son's here. I'm going to order the food, and I'm going to pause it just for a second, guys. I'm back. Yeah, buddy.
What?
All right. I saw somebody said mystery lady. Right. And Arkansas. Mystery lady and Arkansas know exactly what it is. But he's getting ready to explain it. But yeah. It rhymes with paint.
That is the area between the man's jingle bells and his blowhole. It is also known as No Man's Land. And if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, you're more than welcome to call it Mordor.
It is. The way that guy describes it makes it sound funny, don't it? But 2,000 needles in an X-ray?
Back to fish. So the way that Albert unintentionally met Grace was through a newspaper article that her brother had posted looking for a job that read, quote, "Young man 18, wishes position in country, Edward Budd, 406 West 15th Street," end quote. Fish immediately saw this as an opportunity to find his next victim.
Pretty much what I just
he
read
answered the ad,
off Wikipedia.
visiting the family and making initial introductions. Fish and Edward agreed on a date where Fish would return back to pick him up for the job, and so he left.
But he didn't come back.
Shortly after arriving the second time, Grace
He
Budd,
did.
who was a beautiful, polite 10-year-old, ran up to Fish and sat on his lap while he was waiting for her brother to get ready to leave with him.
Conflicting stories.
Fish, trying to flatter her family, pulled out a stack of money and asked Grace to count it for him. While she was busy doing that, Fish made up his mind to take her instead and quickly made up a story having to attend a niece's birthday party. He convinced her parents to let Grace accompany him to the party that evening. Unfortunately,
Now, here we are in 2022. Do you think, dude, what are those needles? Right, I know. Do you think it is? It is just for pain. Like he's self-inflicted pain, like the cat of nine tails. Whipped himself into blood, like blood coming out of him. Oh gosh, this dude is sadistic. Do you think in 2022 someone would meet somebody off of a job ad and they come back and show him, well, he did show a bunch of money, but let them take their 10-year-old to a birthday party for a fictitious person that they've never heard of? I know they do, mystery lady, but not here. No, negative, negatory, no way. Not for me.
the last time the Butts ever saw Grace was as she was walking away with the gray man to what they thought was going to be a birthday party.
The gray man.
As I mentioned earlier tonight,
He wants you to
we are only
subscribe.
going to focus on 2 letters where Fish confessed to several murders. The most famous one being the one about Grace. But many people don't know that there was actually a second one that I will
Oh. Yeah, I mean, the most famous one is obviously one that got him convicted and got him the electric chair.
also read for you tonight. Once again, I must warn you that if you are too sensitive to graphic material, I urge you
More
to
ads.
turn away now.
Here's some
I'm
ads.
making this quick video because it has been 1 month since joining the Cashflow 101 system, and so
We don't need to watch no ads.
Still here? Here's Fish's letter to the Budd family. And I quote, "My dear Miss Budd, in 1894, a friend of mine shipped as a deckhand on the steamer Tacoma.
Now, this guy's writing a letter now to, I don't know, schmooze in his way in.
Captain John Davis. They sailed from San Francisco to Hong Kong, China. On arriving there, he and 2 others went ashore and got drunk. When they returned, the boat was gone.
I mean, the dude's good at storytelling. Like all these serial killers seem to be able to, tell these outlandish things and have people believe it.
At that time, there was a great famine in China. Meat of any kind was from $1 to $3 a pound. So great was the suffering among the poor that all children under 12 were sold for food in order to keep others from starving.
Now, trigger warning. I'm gonna pause it right here a minute. If you have a weak stomach, you don't want to hear what he's getting ready to talk about. Hello, Linda. Yeah, if you have a weak stomach, this is definitely, it's time to turn away. Mute, whatever you gotta do. If you gotta use the bathroom, go. All right, I'm gonna start it right now. Yeah, Tingle Bar. Probably at least, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes to get past this letter anyway.
A boy or girl under 14 was not safe in the street. You could go into any shop and ask for steak chops or stew meat. Part of the naked body of a boy or girl would be brought out and just what you wanted cut from it.
You hear that? Like steak chops or stew meat. But instead of from a cow, he's saying that they were bringing this from a boy or a girl.
A boy or girl's behind, which is the sweetest part of the body, and sold as veal cutlet, brought the highest price.
The behind is sold as veal cutlet.
John stayed there for so long he acquired a taste for human flesh. On his return to New York City, he stole 2 boys, one 7, one 11. Took them to his home, stripped them naked, tied them in the closet.
A 7-year-old and an 11-year-old. This is him writing a letter telling his story.
Then burnt everything they had on. Several times every day and night he spanked them, tortured them, to make their meat good and tender. First he killed the 11-year-old boy because he had the fattest ass and of course the most meat on it.
All right. Pause it there for a second. Do you believe this was, by beating a human? Hey, Lisa Lasky. Do you believe this is, so he wrote all this, but was only charged for 1 person? Yes. He admitted to 3. Suspected in 5, only charged for the 1 that I know of. Let me see.
Every part of his body was cooked and eaten except the head, bones, and guts. He was roasted in the oven, all of his has, boiled, broiled,
Oh my God.
fried, and stewed. The little boy was next. Went the same way. At that time, I was living at 409 East 100th Street, near Right Side. He told me so often how good human flesh was, I've made up my mind to taste it.
He made up his mind to taste it because he was told. This guy had developed a hunger, a desire for it.
On Sunday, June 3rd, 1928, I called on you at 406 West 15th Street. Brought you potted cheese strawberries. We had lunch. Grace sat on my lap and kissed me. I've made up my mind to eat her. On the pretense of taking...
Grace sat on his lap and kissed him, and he made up his mind to eat her. This dude is, oh my gosh.
taking her to a party, you said yes, she could go. I took her to an empty house in Westchester I had already picked out. When we got there, I told her to remain outside. She picked wildflowers. I went upstairs and stripped all of my clothes off.
Some people in this world still do this. There are people that get away with this.
I knew if I did not, I would get her blood on them. When all was ready, I went to the window and called her. Then I hid in the closet until she was in the room. When
Wow.
she saw me all naked, she began to cry and tried to run downstairs.
He went in there and got naked and then called her up there and ambushed her.
Grabbed her, and she said she would tell her mama. First, I stripped her naked. Oh, she did kick, bite, and scratch.
All right, I'm gonna go back to the chat a second. Like I said, if you can't hear this, I understand it. You can come back in a few minutes and chat it up with us. But this is a very disturbing scene, a picture he's painting right here.
I choked her to death, then cut her in small pieces so I can take my meat to my rooms, cook, and eat. How sweet and tender her little ass was roasted in the oven. It took me 9 days to eat her entire body.
This guy is writing this down.
I did not fuck her, though. I could have if I wished. She died a virgin.
Well, thank God for that.
End of quote. In regards to Edward Budd, Fish later confessed that he planned to tie him up, mutilate him, and leave him to bleed to death. On February 11th, 1927, 3-year-old Billy Beaton and his 12-year-old brother were playing in the apartment hallway in Brooklyn with 4-year-old Billy Gaffney. When the 12-year-old left for his apartment, both the younger boys disappeared.
There's 2 more children disappeared.
Beaton was found later on the roof of the apartments. He was asked what happened to Gaffney, and Beaton said, "The Boogeyman took him." Gaffney's body was never recovered. Oddly
Boogeyman.
enough, while Albert Fish was doing his murders, there was also a second serial killer by the name of Peter Kutsinowski, who was also thought to be a suspect in the disappearance of these children.
All right, chaotic. Have you heard of this guy, Peter Kutsinowski? Anybody else? Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever heard of the second serial killer. While you guys do that, I'm gonna. Hello, Amber. Stacy. Sorry if I've missed anybody. I've not been. Gwen, how are you? Looking at the chat. I've been over in so I can pause this. Some of you guys know who the other guy is too, huh?
Let me know in the comments if you'd like to learn more about him.
Uh-oh, here we go with
Here's a
another
letter
ad.
about Billy.
Stop being so nice to women. Nice will never equal turned on or attracted to
Be
you.
nice to
I know.
women. Don't listen to that woman.
And I quote, "I brought him to the Riker Avenue dumps. There is a house that stands alone not far from where I took him. I took the boy there.
This guy like to write stuff
Stripped
down,
him
don't he?
naked and tied his hands and feet and gagged him with a piece of dirt rag I picked up from the dump. Then I burned his clothes, threw his shoes in the dump. Then I walked back and took the trolley to 59th Street at 2 a.m. and walked from there home.
Dude he loves to brag, write stuff down. So it's like all these people, that's why they can't, all these killers that have killed for fun, if they can't brag about it, it drives them crazy. Like they have to tell somebody, and then they have to tell more people.
Next day, about 2 p.m., I took tools, a good heavy cat o' nine tails, homemade, short handle, cut one of my belts in half, slit these halves in 6 strips about 8 inches long. I whipped his bare behind till the blood ran from his legs.
Whipped him with the cat o' nine tails, homemade.
I cut off his ears, nose, slit his mouth from ear to ear, gouged his eyes. He was dead then.
That's about as graphic as it gets. I mean, this guy, describes it and you won't forget it.
I stuck the knife in his belly and held my mouth to his body and drank his blood. I picked up 4 old potato sacks and gathered a pile of stones. Then I cut him up. I had a grip with me. I put his nose, ears, and a few slices of his belly in the grip.
Do you think he's been 100% honest about everything? Do you think he actually went down the way he says it went down?
Then I cut him through the middle of his body, just below the belly button. Then through his legs about 2 inches below his behind. I put this in my grip with a lot of paper. I cut off the head, feet, arms, hands, and the legs below the knee.
This guy, you imagine how he prepared for this kind of thing?
This I put in sacks weighted with stones, tied the ends, and threw him into the pools of slimy water you will see all along the road going to North Beach. I came home with my meat. I had the front of his body I liked the best.
Came home with his meat.
His monkeys and peewees, and a nice little fat behind to roast in the oven and eat. I made a stew out of his ears.
The way he talks about body parts, I don't know.
Nose, pieces of his face and belly. I put onions, carrots, turnips, celery, salt, and pepper. It was good.
Bet y'all ain't hungry now, are you?
Then I split the cheeks of his behind open, cut off his monkey and peewees and washed them first. I put strips of bacon on each cheek of his behind and put them in the oven.
Put strips of bacon on each cheek of his behind, put them in the oven. This dude, like the electric chair was too easy for him.
Then I picked up 4 onions, and when the meat was roasted about a quarter hour, I poured about a pint of water over it for gravy and put it in the onions.
Like, makes you not ever want to make soup or stew or anything without, feeling for that poor kid.
At frequent intervals, I blasted his behind with a wooden spoon so the meat could be nice and juicy. In about 2 hours, it was nice and brown, cooked through. I never ate any roast turkey that
Never any roast turkey that tastes so good. That's what he's saying.
Is it half as good as his sweet, fat little behind did? I ate every bit of the meat in about 4 days. His little monkey was as sweet as a nut, but his peewees I could not chew.
That guy right there. I mean, I hope while he was waiting for that electric chair that
Threw them in the toilet. End quote.
somebody made him
Well,
pay.
if you're still with me, you're a brave soul. Thank you so much for listening to this episode.
Yeah, that's pretty graphic. Pretty graphic. So that right there is the, Albert Fish, serial killer. He has owned up to 3 murders. Has been accused of 5 murders, but he also said he had 100 victims, which could be victims of SA or just assault or anything. Now on Wednesdays when we do the serial killer, it's going to be like this. There's going to be, we're going to talk about this. God gave him the judgment he deserved. That's right, any Pats. A person like that is going to have to answer for their sins. We've seen killers who've done some disgusting things recently, and we've seen these stories come out, play out on YouTube, and those too will, pay that ultimate price someday. Good Tingabar. You see where I took it off and you came back. It's anybody, let's see, just legs, not positive, but from what I understand, people are into cannibalism and is an addiction like a drug. That's what this guy was saying. It was like, he couldn't get enough. Talked about some other man who was in China and just couldn't, or I think he said China, and just couldn't get enough. Once he started eating it, he had to have it all the time. Prayers for you, Cracker Jack, and your granddaughter. Now all the serial killer stuff may not be as far as talking about the cannibalism, but many of them are. Jeffrey Dahmer was a cannibal. Let's see in the chat some of cannibals that come to your mind right off the bat, like right off the top of your head. Serial killers who were also cannibals. Coupon Madonna is probably juvenile detention. Nico Claus. Dahmer, yeah, that's the one that came to mind for sure. Hey, cellar door. Check my real quick. Yes, ma'am. It is free, Mystery Lady. Thank you. It's free to hit that like button, y'all. I was going back and the doc called Albert Fish and the documentary is called Albert Fish and he Alfred Packer. They put her in a mental place for kids who's lots of rage. Man, there was a little girl. Well, she was probably early teens, 13, 14, and she was husky looking, big old husky girl that she stayed in trouble, like just was always in trouble. And all right, thank you. This girl had just gotten some bad trouble for I think she took a pencil and stabbed somebody in the side of the neck at school. Like she was and unprovoked, like she was just hard to deal with. It kept her mama in going to the principal's office all the time. And her stepdad was a wrestler. Well, it was her mom's boyfriend. And so they were from Ohio, and they came down every time we had a wrestling show. They were kind of a big draw. They were, big old. Her stepdad was like 6'6", and he was part of a tag team. They came down. They were all painted up all the time. But anyway, the girl, she was the only time she would behave was when they would tell her they were coming to wrestling, and she couldn't come and see me wrestle. So every time she would come, they would bring her backstage and type deal and let her, meet me, and I'd sign stuff for her. And, it was pretty cool. I think she's in prison now. It's not funny, but she always acted good when she was coming to see me wrestle. King of my thing at Stately. Stacy, okay. Boone Helm. Oh, kind of my thing. Yeah. Chaotic is she researches this type thing, and she knows all kinds. She's gonna keep us busy on Wednesday nights. Albert Fish was the first one I looked at, and I was like, man, I'm just gonna give him all the attention this first Wednesday. Anybody got any updates from Florida? I don't know if I'll be able to get anything, but I'm going to send Alicia a text message and see. Okay, we'll see. Sorry for the dead air time. I sent Alicia a text message to see, if she responds. I don't know if anybody else got any response from anybody in Florida. Alan Krebs, I'm in Central Florida, heavy rain and gust of wind. Okay. R.I.P. Coolio, yes. Been spending most of our life living in the gangster's paradise. What movie was that song featured in? Movie buffs? And who was the female movie star? And does her last name start with P.F.? No response yet here either. So, Dangerous Minds. That's right. I love that movie. Yes, she was smoking hot, wasn't she? Michelle Pfeiffer. Oh, what PA? It wasn't P. Is it PH or PF? It's PF, I think. Right? Yeah. Arkansas, you had me fooled there for a second. Yep, Dangerous Minds, Michelle Pfeiffer. Oh my goodness, I used to be in love with her. She just didn't know it. She didn't know it. Let's see. Looking at the wrong thing. Thursday night, we're going to do a missing persons tomorrow. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you. Not sure on live, Stacy Atwell, but I will have some videos dropping soon. We will be checking those out. Where's the chili at? I know. I got a alert from every time my card's used. I get an alert, so they used the card a few minutes ago. Should be here anytime. My sugar's getting low. So, but I'm not going to eat in front of y'all. I'm going to turn the cam off while I eat. If we're still live. Oh, you're welcome, Stacy. I like to laugh. It's fun. That's what we're going to do here. We're going to have a good time always. Even when we see a notorious serial killer that's just so disgusting, it makes me want to punch through a brick wall. Like, you don't know what I wouldn't give. Like, of course, I would rather be younger and healthier, but well, let's put it this way. You wouldn't know what I wouldn't give for my 25-year-old, 340, 350-pound self to be locked in a room with one of these monsters, just me and them, for 5 minutes. Gosh, I would love to do that. Gosh. Laughter is always the best medicine. Absolutely. Absolutely. The series is going to be dropping videos on Fridays at midnight, so that's cool. Tomorrow, we will get a missing persons case. If anybody knows of a particular missing persons case that is, relatively current, or at least, I don't know, something we would be able to cover and that hasn't been covered, you can send me suggestions. I've got a couple that I'm looking at that I'm thinking about. And well, there's 3 or 4, and they're all over, different parts of the United States. It would be awesome to have like an idea of where the most demographic of location of our subscribers are. I know we're spread out, but I'm an old hillbilly from here in Eastern Kentucky. I've spent most of my life here. I have never lived in Tennessee, so if anybody ever says that, you smack them for me. Thank you, son. Oh, you brought me a real spoon to go with it. Thank you, buddy. Did you get everybody something?
Yeah, I got everybody.
Okay.
It was 37.
That's fine. I know how much it was. I get an alert.
Did it tell you the full price?
Yeah.
I paid a little bit of it.
Oh, well, all I saw was the card. What was there on the card? 32 something. What'd you do? Give him $5?
No, I paid. I'm gonna save a little bit of money because I have a little bit of money for tomorrow's food. So I paid 20 of it in my.
I gave you money for tomorrow's food, didn't I?
Yeah, for tomorrow. That's what I used to pay for a little bit of it because some of it was mine. So.
That's for you for tomorrow, son.
I know, but it was like $50-something. That's crazy.
Was it really tonight?
Yeah.
I knew it would be. All right.
I love you, dude.
I'll come in there later. I'm just going to have to give you more money for tomorrow.
No.
All right. Now I got me some chili. Look, you want me to do a commercial for Wendy's? Wendy's chili. I'm trying not to pour it out. Yeah, that's my boy. That's my oldest. Sweet James. How could the mother let her daughter go with him? Even breathe. I don't know. And it'd be interesting to look into to see how the parents reacted. Or you'll fight me for the chili. Where's my youngest boy too? What are you doing? Have you already eat?
We're ready to. I got random pictures in my camera roll.
Let me see.
From your phone.
From my phone?
From your iPad.
Why are you on my iTunes?
I'm not. I don't know what's going on. Like it's not all there, but there's random like pop-up pictures. I deleted a couple.
Okay. Well, if you don't want them, just delete them. Hear me.
Yes.
Oh, gosh. James, where is my food, kiddo? I forgot to tell him. Such a loving son for sure. You have awesome kiddos, Jimbo. Thank you. Thank you all so much. Hunter is a cutie. I know. Oh, you don't want my iPad pictures on his phone. Like, I don't know. I don't even know how they got on there. Let's see. No, he's not on my. Like, I gave him his own iTunes account, so it shouldn't be on his phone. Thank you, God. You come grace. Hey, Rosemarie, did you get some good news? Listen, I love the homemade chili too. Mama C makes some super good homemade chili. It's so good. She makes it for whenever we do, ball games and stuff. And then people want, hey, can you make me a pot for this and for that? And Mama C never says no. So, so she's done a lot. I got to send you these pictures for a Halloween cake she's wanting to make. Yeah, you can't even. I'm going to send you this one. I've still not got a response back from Alicia. You missed that last text up? Gig great heart. That's all. Oh, that's all right. That's all right. So I just sent you a text, Chaotic, that's got that cake that Mama C's wanting to make. See, I'm afraid to even. I'm gonna take it off camera and take a bite. So if it's real hot and I have to go, you know. That's still me. It's just not live. Yeah, it's awesome. She's gonna try to make that, which she'll do. She'll get real close to it. I guarantee you that. That one there was like at Walmart. It was like $160. So she won't have probably $30 in it. I don't know why they charge so much for those things. Oh God, that chili's good. Only had 2 sips of wine too. Are you feeling a little saucy, Rosemarie J? Yeah, it's a stock photo. I can let me send it to myself on Facebook, then I can share it from Messenger. Well, it's not a stock photo. It's a display fake cake. I thought you said highway, faith over fear, but you meant hay there, didn't you? No fear. No fear, faith over fear. That's hard to keep together. Let me see here. I always have such a hard time finding. Now I know what I did. All right. This is the Halloween cake that Thelma's going to make. And I guarantee, she'll get really, really close to it. I'll take pictures of the cake, of course, and show you once she gets it finished. There you go. That's the one. Of course, like the little black skulls there on the bottom tier, those come in a kit. She'll have to buy those little skulls there, but she'll make pretty much the rest of that stuff, except for the trees up there on top and all that. Want to replace the oil in cakes or anything, you can use the same amount of applesauce. Wow, I did not know that, Just Legs. That is cool. That is cool. All right. Your glucose just went up. I think mine's going down. I may have to actually. Yeah. We're going to call it a night. So I'm going to go in here and wake Mama C up. Tomorrow night we'll start at 10:05. missing persons. I'll get all that researched and together and get some info up on it for you as soon as possible. I do appreciate y'all coming in, hanging out with me, and staying upbeat and positive all night. That's what it's all about. And, I am going to make all videos members only after the video is over now. Just going to be my new policy. Somebody that wants a link to it or needs to see it real bad, I can, give them a private link to it. We'll work it out that way. But just something we got to do. God bless you all. I love you all. Thank you very much for being here. This is Jimbo coming to you live from the stand.
Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no controlling me. My thoughts get so bad, I'm like, I might grab a bat, I don't know. My rap, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll bleed on your face just to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you go wish you shut the fuck up real bad. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. I'll take smoke, I'ma poke a hole through you, choking's overdue. Come at me and you won't get any older, dude. Crack your holder too. Heating up inside of me, blood so violently. Thanks for trying me. Now it's finally time to see how this rivalry becomes a dynasty.